I am not liable or responsible for how you receive this message. This audio was created to help and heal the people and not to offend, criticize anyone's perception or perspective. Welcome to the antidote.
Yup, and we're gonna jump off right into it, man. We throwing punches like zingers. We're gonna talk about relationships and relationship contracts. Because you can talk about relationships, but that's a long topic. We're gonna get into relationships and the contracts.
Really, that's what relationships are. Is contracts, and people don't want to make it seem like that because that's a lot of pressure. Nobody wants to sign a paper. Contracts are commitments.
You are a CEO of your life.
But every time you engage with somebody, whether it's a coworker or a friendship or a mother, father, it doesn't matter. That's a relationship contract that you enter.
Right.
Every time.
Learn to respect the values, and with that contract, and you breach. It's different things with different contracts, and sometimes people try to overstep their breaches of their contract, and they have to get fired. And with that word fired, a lot of stuff happens with people's emotions that can't control them, and so then they react and revenge. So that's another thing about relationship contracts. You have to learn to respect that person's time just as well as your time and what you learn from them. But when they asking for their time away from you, you have to learn to respect that in that relationship contract for no matter what reason. You have to give that person their space.
And see, this is where it comes down to. So a lot of people don't realize the relationship contract they're entering.
Unaware. They're unaware.
People are not honest and communicating exactly what their needs are, exactly what their wants are. So there's misconstruction.
She's saying on a man's end, a man won't really know. See, it's the difference.
I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about with anybody, with man or woman, though.
Because it's a relationship. To get in a relationship contract, you got to understand the word relationship. You got to be in a relationship with yourself to understand who you are, what you want to be, what you want. So if you want something to do, if you want somebody to do for you, right? What's the best way to tell them? You tell them honest. Well, that's how I look at it from my perspective. I want to be honest when I tell you this is what I want from you or this is what I need. And if she say me no, or if they say no, I gotta say, I gotta keep the word integrity in mind when I speak on that. Because you gotta learn the word integrity to be like, okay, well, I need to learn from that and do some more self work on myself. And then you start learning yourself, and you see more value in yourself why that person would have told you no, and then you start learning to grow.
And this is the thing, that's knowing your role.
Yeah, in the contract.
Yep, knowing your role in the contract.
Respecting it, because if you don't, it can go sideways. You could be in jail right now because you did some tires, you did something dumb. You know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend could have been in the house with his 9 and knew somebody pop, you would have been dead. It would have been it would have been a messed up situation. But you know what I'm saying? That's why I say you got, and it's different situations for people out there who relate to some of the stuff that happens, and that kind of talk about like it's toxic because you doing that to somebody else, and then when you do that to somebody else, the other person has to build that you breaching relationship contracts, and then they get sour.
And again, this is different than just relationship. This goes with every point in your life, as far as even like your relationship with your coworkers, with your friends, with your parents. People need to know their place and where they stand in people's lives. The only way to actually know that is to be aware and to communicate properly. Somebody can lie and tell you, you mean this much to me, and this is how much I care about you and all that stuff, but they could be lying completely to your face.
Yeah.
But their actions will show that. Yeah. The only way for you to know that that's a bad contract that you're entering would for you to be aware of them actions. You have to actually pay attention to how somebody's moving and making sure that there's no ill intentions behind that whenever you talk to somebody new.
Right.
And that goes with self-love and being in relationship with yourself, because once you build up that self-worth and that self-love, you won't allow nobody to just take the best parts of you from you. So whenever you are in a relationship and you're exchanging your time, effort, money, whatever it is, attention on something or someone based off of a relationship, you got to make sure that you're investing that when you're investing yourself in that, it's
you helping them grow.
You know what I mean?
You helping them,
and they're helping you grow, and it's not just a one-sided situation.
Because everybody want to win. So if you're in a relationship with yourself, you want to be a winner. When you start valuing yourself in life, you say, "I want to win." And if you don't say that in your life, and then you say you want to be around somebody else, and you that's self-work that you're not doing yourself. You can't bring down somebody else's happiness or drag your wrong intentions into somebody else's great creations. Like when you do that, you mix in. It's not even about business and pleasure at that time. It's actually saying it's levels to this. It's levels to relationship contracts. Like once you reach a level of relationship, like let's say the relationship contract is this big. And baby, relationship contract, that's like I can wax that, every night because that's big. That's part of the contract. So, but as a man, you respect that, but you gotta value that. You want to cook, clean. You want her to see that you don't need her, but you want to show her that you need her. You know, you want to show people that you love them. So if you do a lot of other things, that it makes the love better. You know what I'm saying? It makes the love grow in the equity.
See, but this was deeper than just love. I was talking about relationship concept is how we deal with people, period.
Right.
You know, it's not even just like whether you do intimately to show somebody love. You can show somebody you love them without being intimate at all. Without being sexual at all.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And so, and it don't have to be a boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can cook for your
But that's a different type of contract. And that's where you gotta know what you signed up for. Because in that type of contract, you gotta let them know and be honest up front. Because if you're not honest and up front, somebody could get hurt.
So this is where the contracts gets fucked up too. Two people might enter an agreement based on the contract. Okay, this is what we're gonna do and how we're gonna treat each other. And somebody along the way might change their mind. And there's no open communication about that. Nobody sits and says, okay, well here, look, this is how I know I said this and that's how I felt. Now I changed my mind. I don't feel that way. Yeah. You know, and people are allowed to feel that way, and people are allowed to change their minds, and not like I enter agreement this way, you know what I mean, and I wanted this, but now I don't want that anymore. You know, with growth or change or lifestyle situation, whatever, I don't want that anymore. I changed my mind. I want this. People are so afraid of their own truth that they can't say that, and therefore they're in a contract that's null and void, but it's a part of their life. You know what I mean? And you end up damaging people,
right,
when you do things like that.
So and then when you damage people, you damage yourself.
So, the antidote is about healing, about helping.
Right, we gotta heal each other.
So when it comes down to relationships and the contracts, you got to be aware and understanding and conscious of who you're around, who you're dealing with, and what kind of agreements and arrangements you are making.
Yeah.
You can't just assume things with people.
Because everybody in business for themselves. We all winning. We all in business for ourselves. So if I talk to you and we winning on this together and we don't have no kind of sexual intimacy in that, and it's a contract we signed up for, we want to value that like it's a job or it's a business. And you know, like, so you have circles.
Because even like, okay, while you talking about business, the same thing I brought up earlier. Yeah. Say between a boss and a employee, okay? Boom, that's a relationship contract, okay? It's literally a contract. You go to work, you sign a paper, and you say, hey, I'm work for you, okay? I'm an employee. Now, you have you do your job because that's your job and that's what you signed. Now your boss tells you, hey, I really like that you're a good worker. You know, I want to promote you. I want to make you a manager. If you could do this, Now, this is a verbal contract that this man has made with you. So now you're putting in extra hours, extra time, and you're doing all that, right? And say this man ends up hiring somebody else.
Yeah.
And now you just got this promotion swept under the rug, from under you. You've been putting all this work and all this effort into.
I have chocolate.
Yeah, go ahead. And
winning.
It's just like, you know, you didn't know because you wasn't aware. Like I said, the dude might be lying to you. So yeah, you took him as face value. But if you were actually aware of what was going on the job site, you probably would have heard them hiring the new guy.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean, showing this guy around. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could see that. You know the
top of the top. But then when you got to do self-work, like in between your blessings from losing that position, you got to go back and do some self-work and apply yourself better the next time around. So
But the thing is, relationship contracts, like, that person might feel like, well, man, that person is an evil person and be mad, or the boss, that guy did me wrong. And it might be, yes, a messed up situation because he lied to him or whatever the case is. But really, at the end of the day, you put that extra work in, you put that effort in because you was unaware of what was really going on because you didn't take the time to figure out the situation. Right. So at the end of the day, that's a lesson for yourself.
And you gotta be,
you know, every relationship, I feel like every relationship contract that you enter, I personally feel has a deeper, I feel like it has a deeper spiritual, more meaningful connection than you think. I feel like if you ever get to a point where you come face to face, 7-point-something billion people in this world, you know, you come across all types of people from all walks of life. You were born at a certain place at a certain time for whatever reason. Some people have the life where they travel from birth. You know, they just go everywhere. The parents, some people are born into different things. Everybody that you come in contact with may not be important, but I feel like every relationship contract that you build is important in your life. I feel like they all have a meaningful connection to your growth and your journey, and they're very important to you.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. And I had to let her speak. I mean, because I was going to speak on her topic, so I didn't want to interrupt because I didn't want her to stop it. I mean, I'm not.
But you get what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's a relationship with yourself. You're right. The strongest one is with you. So you have to be conscious of what you're building with other people and why you're building these relationships with other people. Because not everybody deserves the best part of you.
You're right.
You know, we have to keep something, sacred and vulnerable. I mean,